Yo, it is Andre. I am back with another video. Yep, and I'm making this video while it's nighttime. So, anyway, I'm in my room chilling, and I'm making this video to answer someone in my comments question. They wanted me to talk about this. So, you know how it goes. Let me see here. Yep, just chilling in my room before I go to sleep. But I'm gonna answer someone's question real quick. So, okay, so basically, one of my commenters asked me, why do men say to other men that you get no bitches as an insult? Basically, a man will say to another man, like, they'll use that as an insult, saying, oh yeah, well, you get no bitches. Haha. Yeah, so basically, someone in my comments wanted me to talk about that specifically. So, yeah, it's like I said in my past videos, anyone who wants me to talk about something, just let me know in my comments. So, since you want me to talk about that term that people use saying, oh yeah, you get no bitches, yeah, that's a tactic to shame other men. You know what? Like, you know how men say that to other men? So I will explain why they do that. So that way, yeah, to answer your question. So I will talk about why they do that. Okay. The reason why a man say to other men that you get no bitches is because those men are brainwashed by the world system. They go by the norm, the definition of what the world system considers normal. So, and those men also base their worth off of women. So they don't know how to base their worth off of just their own existence. They're dependent on other people's validation, which, yeah, so they're basically speaking from a ignorant perspective. They're weak. They hate themselves. They only base their worth off of other people, so thus they're not in their right state of mind. So that's why those men say you get no bitches as an insult, because they base their worth off of how much bitches they get or having bitches at all. Yeah. So they live, seeking validation from the crowd, from other people. And it's like I said in my past videos, any man who thinks like that thinks like a woman. He thinks with his emotion. He's not perfectly balanced. He's unnatural. He's not in his right state of mind. So that's why those men say that. So because they're immature. That's why. This in the simplest terms. They're immature. So they're idiots. Not fully there in their head, In order for them to be mature, they have to be fully awake. So yeah. So I'm answering your question. That's why they do that. So that's why I said before, any man that makes an insult about anything, it shouldn't work on you if you don't care. Like, just simply don't care. Because you gotta understand, like, the way we men are built is that we're individualists by nature. So words from people don't work on us if we don't care. All you have to do is not care and you win. Because if you react or give them energy from an insult, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, and you're giving them ammo just by caring. That's the thing. You shouldn't. Yeah. Words are words. So it's like no matter what people say, it's not just when they say, "Oh, you get no bitches," but I'm saying all insults in general. Anyone who insults you, no matter what it is, just don't take any of that seriously. Don't acknowledge their existence. Just leave them. Just simply go about your business. Like I said, a man should not. Yeah, words alone should not bother you. Or shouldn't bother any man. The only time you beat up someone else is if they try to attack you, assault you. Physically, basically. Then you have the right to beat their ass. Only beat someone up when they deserve it. But when they use words are not physical assault. So words only affect the mind that allows it to. So yeah, but when people try to put their hands on you, then you have the right to beat them up. But only do that when they try to put their hands on you. If they, like, for example, or if they simply just get near you, punch them. But if they say words, don't care. Just simply keep walking. If they make, or the famous one, they make fun of your mama. Don't care. Keep walking. Because remember, words only work if you allow them to. You know what I'm saying? Words can't hurt you. So remember that. So So yeah, so those who say you get no bitches are no different from any other insult. So just be aware of that. You know, they're immature. So why care about any of that? Yeah, why take it seriously? You gotta remember, they're of the world system. They go by what society says a real man is, not what reality says a real man is. A real man is a real man regardless, like I said in my past video. A real man have nothing to do with what society says a real man is. A real man is a real man regardless. So, but like I said, those people that say that insult though, they go by what the world definition of a real man is instead of what they alone should know what a real man is. Exactly. So that's why those people are just immature, you know. Like I said, they think with their emotion, they think like a woman. They're unbalanced. They're not in their right state of mind. They're still men. They're just not in their right state of mind as a man. Because there are men who are disconnected from their Y chromosome because they've been deceived from birth, lied to by society, to think like a woman, to think with their X chromosome instead of their Y chromosome. Because like I said, we're supposed to control our X chromosome with our Y chromosome, you know, which is basically peace controlling chaos. Understand? So we're supposed to be perfectly balanced at all times, you know. It's easy, like I said, but that comes from self-recognition. Men must be aware of what they are in order to, you know, be balanced within themselves. Yeah, the peace, Peace, controls the chaos, the necessary evil, the negative molecule. The positive controls the negative. There's no equal treatment between positive and negative. One side controls the other. So positive is the controller of the negative. That's the purpose of chaos. Chaos is controlled by peace, by the dark, the void. The shadow is controlled by the dark. It's not, male controls the female. That's the reality. The shadow is not equal to the dark or above the dark. It's controlled by the dark. So, the silence controls the motivation. The peace controls the chaos. The good controls the evil. That's how it's supposed to be. So one side controls the other. So anyway, like men who don't recognize their true nature think like females. They're unbalanced within themselves. So I mean, there's, like I said, a man is still a man. The term "you're not a real man" doesn't exist. It's just made up by the world system. And we gotta remember, just because they say you're not a real man, it doesn't mean you will instantly turn into a woman and not be a man anymore. Nope, you're still a man. See that right there shows those people are just trying to shame you. They're lying. That shows everything they say out of their mouth is a lie. It's bullshit. Because they can't change reality just because they're saying it out their mouth. They say, "Oh, you're not a real man." So what? You're supposed to magically turn into not being a man. See that? But yet you're still a man. Why? Because their words don't mean shit. Like, it only means shit if you give it power. That's what I'm saying. If you care, then it means shit. But if you don't care, then what they say is lost. Yep. It has no effect on you. Exactly. So that's why. So yeah, when you told me to make that when you told me to talk about that term that they use, you know, that insult they use, like I said in my past video, it's just insults in general. It doesn't mean shit if you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it's basically the same as any insult. Like I said, they just say that because they're immature. So yeah. Yep. Like I said, yeah. That's why I say to my fellow men out there, go by what you alone say a real man is, not what the world system say a real man is. And you don't stop being a man regardless. Like, you're still a man. The only difference is any man who out there exists in the world somewhere, existence that's out there and exists, you know, somewhere in the world, the universe that's immature. Remember, they're still men. They're just immature men. They're just men who think unbalanced. That's it. So that's the only difference. So those men must be corrected. So yeah, just be aware of that. So yeah, if a man acts like a woman, you know, by thinking with his emotion, treat him like a woman. Just ignore his existence. Just like we're not supposed to give free male attention to women. You know, we're not supposed to give free male attention to men who think like women too. So treat them like you would treat a woman that's uncontrolled. Yeah, just simply ignore their existence. Leave them to fend for themselves. Leave them to die. Yeah, don't have anything to do with them. Don't save them. Don't do anything. Yeah, just don't give them any male attention for free. So yeah, so that's what you do to men out there who think like women, who think with their X chromosome instead of the Y chromosome. So he was unbalanced. So you got to give them their just punishment, which is basically to ignore their existence. Only beat them up when they're stupid enough to put their hands on you, or try to, you know. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to answer your question with this video. Yep, yeah, because you wanted me to talk about that, so. So that's why they say you get no bitches, because they're singing from an immature mindset. Remember that. They're unbalanced, so. Yep. Men are not supposed to be effeminate, you know? So, but it's up to the individual man to realize that, so. Yeah. Yeah, life is wonderful, man. Life is peaceful. Life is chaos. Life is, everything. It's all about you navigating it, perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Live life, enjoy life. Don't take anything for granted. Know your worth. Just keep standing on your own 2 feet and, enjoy life, Enjoy what you like to do, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, what else should I talk about in this video? Let me see, I'm going to make sure I say everything I said, because sometimes I'll leave the video without saying some things. Let me see here. I'm gonna think a bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's nighttime. Normally I'm asleep by now, but I decided to wake up and answer your question. So, oh yeah, what you want me to talk about? That's right. So anyway, just be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? That men are, men who say insults are just think like a woman. They're not in the right state of mind. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's my answer to your question in the comments. You want me to make a video talking about the insult they say to men. So yeah, never take those men seriously that do that, okay? Yeah, cause you understand that every time a man insults another man, majority of the time they're speaking from an immature, perspective, Yeah. But of course, don't confuse a man being, we call it scolding another man for a man being immature. Like, there are times when you have to correct other men too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when someone says, you get no bitches, that just comes from an immature, that's the opposite of scolding. So yeah. Because there's a difference in trying to better someone else, scold them or just insult them, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference, So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. So, yeah. So like I said, any man who say you get no bitches is because they're immature. And they base their worth off of bitches, which is why it makes sense why they think like that, exactly. But yeah, man, keep being you, keep living life, enjoy what you got, and yeah, so this is the answer to your question in the comments. Alright, I'm about to turn off my TV and go to bed, so you know how it goes. Yep, I love my room, man. It's my palace, my little kingdom. I get to enjoy when I'm not outside playing, when I'm inside of my own personal space, my own hangout. It's my room. I love my room. All right, that's the end of this video. So peace.